Transformation podcast with leading empowerment and transformation authority, Dr. Sylvia Forchap-Likambi. The Transformation podcast brings you inspirational and life-changing contents on personal development, leadership, health and well-being, entrepreneurship, and career development, so that you may be able to transform your mindset, be empowered to live a purposeful, healthy, and fulfilling life. And I am your host, Dr. Sylvia Forchap-Likambi. On today's episode, we're going to look at empowering women to thrive and fulfill their maximum potential, taking massive actions to bring about the change we need in order to excel in our careers, in our businesses, or wherever we find ourselves as women. I've chosen this theme because we are in the Women's Month. In fact, tomorrow is International Women's Day, and I thought it would be incredible to do a theme or a topic on empowering women to take massive actions in line with this year's International Women's Day theme, which is accelerating action. I love that. If you know me by now, I'm someone who is solution focused. I take massive actions. I do things. I don't spend time looking at the problems, how many problems there are, or talking about the problems or the shortcomings, whatever. I'm a vision-driven individual. I spend time looking for solutions. I spend time looking to fix that which has gone wrong or that which is wrong. So there can be no better theme this year than the one that is linked to taking massive action. So thank you all for joining me. However, this is not only for women, because some of you women watch this podcast, maybe men, fathers, husbands, brothers, siblings. So I want to welcome you because you also have a part in playing to ensure that our world is a world where everyone is valued. Women, men, children, boys, girls, black, white, green, everyone is valued and everyone's potential is recognized. And in a world where we understand that diversity is strength, where we understand that our differences strengthen us and make us fit for the ever-changing world. So welcome on board as you join me, Dr. Sylvia Forchap-Likambi. I would like to take this opportunity as well to invite you on our International Women's Day Symposium, which will take place on Saturday, the 15th of this month, March, at the Transformation Center, 116 Lineker Road in Liverpool, L21 8JT. It's a free event, incredibly empowering and inspirational event with a theme, Unlock the Power Within, taking massive actions, taking bold steps and actions in order to thrive in every area of your life, to achieve excellence in your professional and personal life. So join us. If you've not registered, you could comment here, you could send me a message, you could go on Voice of Nations, our website, or Eventbrite and register so you can join us. A free event, incredibly inspirational speakers. I'll be delivering a powerful keynote on my recent book, Unlock Your Greatness in 7 Days. Unlock Your Greatness in 7 days. If you haven't gotten this book yet, I would highly recommend you get your copy now. You can get that on Amazon or on our website, www.Likambi Global Publishing. We'll also be hosting a special International World Book Day event. My children, who are all authors, young authors, some of the youngest authors in the UK and in the world, they'll be hosting an incredible, wonderful, transformational virtual event, and your children are all welcome. This will be on Sunday, the 23rd of March from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. They'll also be launching their new or their latest children books, 6 in total, and my first daughter, Latoya, will be launching the second edition of a magazine for young people, a powerful, inspirational magazine, Thrive Magazine, on the same day. Join them for questions, inspiration. They will share their journey with you, showing you that if they could do whatever they are doing right now, going out there, impacting lives, transforming lives, writing books, prolific writers, then any and every child can do that, because every child is incredibly unique, endowed with incredibly infinite potential to impact our world. And then I will be leading a 7 p.m. on the same day, 23rd of March 2025, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. A powerful transformational Wellbook Day event as well, taking you through my latest releases, The Power of Gratitude, The Ultimate Antidote for Grief, and Unlock Your Greatness in 7 days. I hope you can join me. For every purchase you make, you'll be impacting and transforming lives. For the children's books, we'll be donating up to 1,000 books for every book purchase to some of the children in DR Congo and also in Cameroon. We'll also be supporting 100 orphans with educational resources and books, so please do support our mission. We have a goal to impact 10 million lives globally this year, and we want you to help us to make that. As we sell these books, or as you purchase this book, every profit will go towards these children, supporting them to unlock their creativity, the genius within them, so they too can thrive and they are not left behind because of disadvantage. And whereas if you purchase any of my personal development books, all of them throughout this year, you'll be supporting Voice of Nations, a social enterprise that works to educate, empower, inspire, and transform the lives and status of young girls, women, and families. Every profit from the sale of all of my books for the entire year will go towards Voice of Nations, groundbreaking personal development and leadership programs. Self-confidence, self-esteem, all of that, leadership, coaching, mentoring, when women who are out there who need our support, so they too can unlock their greatness and thrive into leadership positions, living the life they were born to live. So now let's look at what we must do as women so we can live the life we're born to live, so that we can really live a fulfilling life, bringing all our gifts, our values, all that we have to offer the world in the workplace, in our families, at our communities, bring that all to the table without holding back anything, or without saying that we will refuse access, into that community, into that office, into that institution. What should we do? First and foremost, we need to become aware of the incredible power that we have within us. We need to become aware as well that change is waiting for us. No one can change our life but us. While people might inspire us to transform our lives, we need to make that decision, a deliberate, intentional decision, and take the necessary actions to achieve all that we've dreamed of achieving, or to do everything we desire to do to impact our world and make it a better place. We've heard too often people say, knowledge is power, gain knowledge. We live in an era, in times where knowledge is in excess. In fact, erroneous knowledge that are detrimental to our health, well-being, progress, and all of that. And so it's not really just about knowledge, because some knowledge can be very disempowering, very destructive, and detrimental. And it's also about having the discernment which knowledge is relevant for you at this point in time, for you to make a difference in your life and also in the lives of those around you, your family, and maybe your community. You need to have the spirit of discernment. Above all, whatever knowledge you take in, yes, you've had that spirit of discernment, you've rightfully discerned, between wrong and right. You now actually are going for knowledge of the truth, knowledge that will bring you liberation. However, without action, there is no change. Without action, when you take all of this knowledge, you simply become like a living library. The library is an institution, it's a place where we have all sorts of resources there that have transformed great minds, or dreamers and visionaries, into the great individuals, leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs that they are today. But libraries never move. Libraries have the resources that are used by people to transform their lives. They are the people who step into that library and make use of those resources, whose lives are transformed and that have the power to go out there and transform their communities and the world at large. So when you take in a lot of knowledge without ever taking action, you become like a living library. The only difference is you have life. You are literally a library. While the library is stagnant because we have to go to it to read, we place the books and walk away. But you are a library that is working away, is moving about, because you are alive, yet you're dead inside because you are taking no action. because all the knowledge trapped within you are still trapped within you. They never serve anyone, not even yourself. Talk less of serving the world and your community. So beloved women, beloved leaders, now is the time to take action. And I'm so happy. And I know when we talk of action, too often we live in times where we are so expectant, or we live in times where we become so entitled to this, that, and that. We think the government owes us this, our council owes us this and that, our teachers owe us this and that, our schools owe us this and that. Come on, like Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. We must be that change. We must bring that change. No one is coming to save me and you. Jesus has already paid the price and gone. People who can't even save themselves, how can they save you? Some of these politicians are stuck. Some of these people you are looking up to, their own life is in total mess. They are lost. How do you expect someone who is lost to save you? How do you expect someone who is lost and is moving in darkness to show you the way and guide you and shine the light to you when they have no light? They are moving in darkness. You and I have to make this decision. You and I have to take these actions, and it is massive, massive actions. Let me tell you something. A dream is only as good as a goal when it becomes a goal, a vision, and tied up to actions. If not, they are merely wishes. You know, people who are visionaries, who bring change, they call them visionaries. They call them great dreamers who take actions because they set goals that align with their dreams and visions, and they take the necessary actions to achieve those dreams and visions. Those who wish stay there doing nothing, setting no goals, taking no actions, just sleeping and wishing. And we often hear this saying, which has become so cliche. If wishes were horses, then even beggars will ride. You can't simply wish for a better life. You can't simply sit back and wish somebody to make the world better for women. You can't simply sit back and be looking at all the problems. It's too easy to find problems. You don't need any skill to find problems. The challenge is resolving those problems. The challenge is bringing the solutions. The areas where you need expert, knowledge, skills, is in the areas where we are creating change. We are creating solutions. We are bringing lasting change, impact, and transformation. So looking at problems, absolutely, it's not what we need right now if we want to bring change. We can't keep thinking and looking at the problems the same way we thought in the past and expect anything to change or get better. I hear a lot of us saying we are blessed and privileged to be in a nation where, yes, because of the hard work of its citizens like you and me, if there were no taxpayers, some of us will not even have all the benefits. You will not have all the benefits and welfare that you have to sustain your health and well-being or everything you're going through. It's thanks to some of those taxpayers who are making that possible for you. Imagine if all of these taxpayers, hard-working people, who go on, sleepless nights to make things better, not only for themselves, but for the society, because their tax go on to help others who are less privileged than themselves. If they were to just sit there and expect the government, the council, the society to help them, then how would we be better? How would we be able to help the most disadvantaged and less privileged of our community, who genuinely are unable to work for one reason or the other? If those business entrepreneurs, people like myself and many others out there, were not working tirelessly day and night to create that business, then to sustain it and then scale it, they most probably will not have been able to create jobs and opportunities, and also be able to pay tax into the system that will support some of these people who are unable to work or do anything. Entrepreneurs don't wait for government or for the society. Entrepreneurs are creators. Let's just pause and look at the wealthiest and most successful people in the world. It's a very little percentage, about 3 to 5. Often it's said about 3%. We just have 3% of the world population. Let's just give the 5, because some studies research say 5% of the world's population are amongst the wealthiest people in the world. 95 are just normal. Yeah, we may put middle class. Middle class is not class. We're born to excel. We're born to thrive. So we need to take massive actions, because the difference between our dreams, our visions, the life we yearn to live, the dreams we envisage, or the vision we envisage, and all of that as women, as mothers, as leaders, the difference between that vision, between that dream, and our current reality is time. For example, you have the vision to become a doctor. You cannot become a doctor overnight. It needs time, and there are processes, there are actions you need to take over that time in order to become that doctor or lawyer. You don't become a lawyer overnight. While everyone may dream to become a lawyer, regardless of their background, their skin color, their financial status, their parental whatever, everyone can have that dream and vision to become a lawyer, to become a successful leader. However, you don't become that overnight. No. You need to learn, you need to gain the skills, the knowledge, and over time, you become a doctor. So the difference between the vision we hold for a better world, for a world where men and women are treated with dignity and respect and given equal opportunities, of course based on their strengths and unique gifts, qualifications, and so on and so forth. The difference between that vision and the reality, the current state of things, is the time. What will make that time shorter or longer? What will make you become a doctor in 3 years or in 10 years are the actions you take. The more actions you take, the shorter that time frame from your dreams to the life you desire to live. So I'm super excited that this year they're talking about taking massive actions. Women, there is no way we can do this without taking massive actions. It's past the time of taking normal actions. Why? Because we are years behind. We are years behind. It's like if you were given 50 years to live. All through your life, you haven't done anything really concrete. You've been dreaming for the first 30 years of your life. Now you've lived half of your life. You have only 20 more years to go. In 10 more years, you've just been becoming more aware, creating awareness, talking about the problems, telling everyone about the reality of the problems, this, that, calling them out, calling groups to march with you. 40 years gone. You're still there. You're still there. Talking, creating awareness, whatever it is, doesn't change things. Absolutely no. They are the actions we take, like I said, that will determine how soon we get to that destination, how soon we accomplish that vision or not. So you have just 10 more years to go. You cannot do things the same way you did with the first 40 years of your life. 40 years was ample time for you to just relax, go by, business as usual. Take your time, sleep, rest, complain. Don't take actions because of the way you feel. You know what? Visionaries don't go based on sight or feeling. They don't move based on sight or feeling. Their movement is driven by their vision, the power in their vision that generates an intrinsic drive called motivation within them. Motivation is the reason why we take action, a powerful force and passion within them that propels them forward towards that vision. They continue to move and take actions every single day of their life to get to that destination, to achieve that vision. So you cannot be normal. You cannot play safe. You cannot do the same thing you used to do. Enough of the talking, enough of the creating awareness. I hear people say this enough. We have to continue to have this discussion. It's time to stop. We've been having these discussions forever because we've not understood the concept that there are principles that govern life. There are principles that govern change. There are principles that govern success in life, whether we like it or not. Irrespective of how we feel or what we think, those principles are universal. They don't respect you, they don't please people, they don't favor anyone. We must abide by those principles. One of those key principles is the principle of action. In fact, even in the law of physics, the law of inertia, it states that an object that is static, that object may be you, human, myself, any object that's fixed, that's not moving, will remain static. motivation, drive, purpose, reason, vision causes it to move or to change direction. The same law states that, and an object that is in motion, that's already moving, taking action, is no longer static. It's taking action, no matter how small those actions may be. The laws of nature come in place to help you, to propel you forward. That object will continue to move in the same direction of movement towards that vision, towards that goal, towards that ideal life, for a better life of equity for women, where everyone is valued, respected, and treated with dignity, and everyone is given opportunities so that they may utilize their gifts and talents and make a difference in our world. That force of inertia, that law of inertia states that that object that's in motion will continue to move, and in the same direction effortlessly, until another external force causes it to stop or to change direction. Wow. And if that external force is weaker than the force that propels it forward, the external force cannot stop it. Passion is much more powerful. It's a powerful force, motivation, than depression. In fact, depression has no power. That's why we just sit there. We have no energy. Depression is lifeless. It takes the life, sucks the life out of us. There is no energy. It's just like darkness and light. Darkness has no power over light. It has a lower energy. Where there is light, light takes over and engulfs darkness. Light is the only way to take over darkness. Light is the only way to illuminate a dark world or a dark room. There's nothing else we can do. We can spend all the time we want talking about this darkness, becoming aware that we live in darkness. Come on, we're wasting time. People even become angry because now they become aware of who made them to live in this darkness. Then they are pointing fingers, blaming. You now have a society, a powerful force, like-minded people who are blaming and cursing the person that brought the light. But then again, the energy is negative, so it makes them even more depressed and angry because they are not taking action. They are still having these conversations, but darkness continues to dwell because the only solution for darkness is light. Go get the smallest candlelight. You make the greatest difference rather than sitting there for hours, endless night, saying you are advocating, you are creating awareness, about the darkness, that there is too much of this darkness. This is the person to blame. We have zero tolerance for darkness. We have zero tolerance for love. Come on. The only solution, zero tolerance for hatred. The only solution for hatred is love. Hatred is a very minute energy, negative. It has no power. Where love is present, there can be no hatred. In fact, hatred is the absence of love. Just like darkness is the absence of light. There can be no darkness where there is light. There can be no hatred where there is love. So rather than standing and marching every single day, we need allies to join us in our march against hatred. I will never join marches against hatred because there's no such thing. It's just a human thing, a physical thing to tick boxes, to make people look physically good. The truth is, if you have hatred within you, you are exercising towards another person, you cannot bring love. Because love is the absence of hatred. While you are hating those who hate others, you're just like them. No difference. No difference. You might dislike an act, but you bring love to change the situation. Because sometimes, and too often, those who are hurting others, they are hurt. People who are hurting will hurt others, consciously or unconsciously. If you are bleeding, you will bleed. If you don't close your bleeding, you don't heal on those who did not hurt you, simply because you are bleeding. Wherever you go, you spill blood. You bleed on that part. The cure to bleeding is healing. Healing. And when there is no more blood, everywhere you go now, you bring healing and restoration. So women, leaders, this is for everyone anyway. We must take action, massive actions. A lot of people ask me, you do a lot of things. How do you do that? I'm on a mission on this earth, and I understand I don't have eternity. At one point we are born. At one point we exit this planet. The time we have in between being born and exiting this planet is the only time we have to make a difference. And the massive actions we take within this time will determine our legacy. We determine the mark we leave on planet Earth when we exit planet Earth. You can't just come into this earth to exist and occupy space without leaving your mark behind. We are more than that, women. Stop the blame game. Stop the discussion. We waste a lot of time talking. Come on. It's just become like those girl chats, we just sit and chat. Waste time. No. When I go to women's conferences where they are pointing, this is to blame, that is to blame, or the comparison mode, we can do it better than them. Everyone is unique. Everyone is so unique. If you focus on your field of uniqueness, of greatness, you will naturally thrive and soar. You are in no competition. I can't compete with anyone. You cannot compete with me. If you want to compete with me, unfortunately, I'm a masterpiece in the domain where I'm called to lead and dominate. You'll be wasting your time. Because the massive actions I take, you'll be trying to catch up. I say trying, and I'm gone. In fact, someone was saying the other day, oh my goodness, Dr. Sylvia, I can't even believe you just published the second book. We've not even celebrated the first and you release the next one. I'm like, you know what? I'm not here to be counting celebrations. Everything I've achieved up to now is no longer my potential. The days that I've got left, the years, I've got many years because I've not fulfilled my purpose. I need to take massive actions and create. There is no time. Sometimes our greatest successes or past successes are the greatest hindrances to our future success. We spend time celebrating, talking about past successes and glory. We spend time counting the people who've impacted. I impact. My work is inevitable because they are my fruits. By my fruits, you know me. It's inevitable. If you've seen me, you've heard me speak, you've listened to my work, you've seen the things I do, it's inevitable. I don't even need testimonies because I'm not serving you to get a testimony from you. Though I appreciate and I'm really grateful, but don't get me wrong. The reason I serve is to fulfill my purpose. And my Lord is actually commending me and saying, well done, my daughter. You are doing exactly what I placed you on this earth to do. That's where I get my real and final ultimate reward. It's like every day I'm serving my children. I don't expect every single thing I do to them for them to say, thank you, mommy, thank you, mommy. Though it's great, but it's my duty, my obligation. It is my purpose. It's why I was placed on this earth. It's why I'm giving the bread of life freely to serve with my gifts, which is what I do daily. You have to take massive actions. They are the actions that we take that will determine the distance between our dreams, our visions, our ideal, and the life we currently live. If you are not seeing or experiencing the life you currently live, and this is in every area of your life, let's go to health and well-being. You want to have optimal mental health and well-being? Is that your dream? Look at your life right now. Maybe today is the 7th of March 2025. Say by the 31st of December 2025, you want to have a sound mental health. You want to have an optimistic mental health. You want to come out from depression, anxiety. What are you doing? You cannot stop and sit down and say, oh, the government is not giving this. There is a long waiting list to see therapies. Those doctors even will give you medications that will never take you out of depression. I'm sorry. No medication cures depression. That's why you stay on it throughout your life, and they increase the doses because after some time you become accustomed to it. Your body adapts. It's no longer working, and actually they just sedate you. Sedate also, you sleep and you think your problem is gone. It's like drinking alcohol. You go to bed because you can now sleep. You say, I now sleep. I didn't used to sleep. Of course you've been sedated, but the problem has not been resolved. No action has been taken. You wake up, you've even gone steps behind because now you've even forgotten the problems, because it takes awareness that I have a problem to even seek a solution. But if I have forgotten my problems now, even though it's still within my system, it's a bit covered, then it takes me a while again for it to show up. Then I realize again, oh, that problem is still there, it's not gone. So I'm starting again from square one or even minus 10. So beloved, if your situation is your health and well-being, your mental health, like I said, you must take massive actions. You can't expect the hospitals. I'm sorry. There are some certain things that, yes, the hospital can do. You are obese. You must take massive actions. Most of the things in our life is down to us. Very few things. I have people who have been diagnosed even of, terrible conditions. Their mindset have transformed. Their entire body and healing, and they've gained healing. In fact, we show this clinically as well with the placebo effect. People get to the hospital with leukemic cancer. They have, cells in their blood that shows that they have leukemia, a type of blood cancer, because they are told that they are taking the best medication, though we have not given them any medication, anything with an active, component, active ingredient, or, we call them active, that's the main, because when you have a drug, everything in that drug is not really active. It's not what is curing you from that illness. There's a specific component. The rest can be other things just to build it up and all of that. But people have taken drinks, candies, glucose, and they have come back without any cells of leukemia in their body, with zero leukemic cells, clinically proven to have complete remission, complete restoration, having no more leukemic cells. So beloved, yes, even in cases where we may need medical intervention, because of course there are some certain things like operations, we need the scientists, you must take your own actions. What are you doing? What are you doing? Honestly, I don't like staying in discussions where they talk a lot about problems. Or it's always awareness, awareness, awareness. Come on. Or we have to keep having these conversations. Conversations that have been hidden under the table. Come on. Come on. For how long? We are about 40 years old, and look at most of the women championing these things. Those who have brought real change have taken massive actions. They didn't only march. They marched and went into the parliaments when they requested their heart's desire, what they wanted, made their petition known, and the laws and decrees were signed. They didn't just sit there in the background taking actions. Some of us will stay behind where we cannot go into parliaments. We say, oh, I'm black, or I have no qualification, or I cannot speak well, and so on and so forth. Some of us will stay behind condemning the schools, yet if they ask us to step there and impact the schools, we will not do that. Some of us are complaining. We are blessed to have, financial stability in a way, but yet if they ask you to just go serve a little black child out there, free mentoring, I know a lot of people will be like, you don't pay me, I'm not doing it. Yeah, we have conversations every single day and talk about the injustices. How many black role models you see within their community mentoring young black children or young girls and boys for free? How many of them? I work with blacks and whites. I've seen, some people say in most of my events, I have whites, I have this. Honestly, I work with everyone. I'm called to work with everyone. My global summit, the Global Women's Leadership Summit, our vision is to unite visionary women from all walks of life. We work with black, white, green, every nation. The truth is, in my experience, I've had most white folks, women, ready to give their time for free than the blacks I've had the privilege of talking or working with. So when we sit and say our community is disadvantaged, how many of us leaders out there are making that change in our community? How many of us? How many whites naturally just give to charity? They don't even know. We will give to some grandfather in Africa. We'll give to some cousin in Africa, Cameroon, Nigeria, Congo that we know. We'll keep helping. Even those who live in the UK, even though the communities where your children live, they go to school with, is so broken, yet you prefer to take the money and save children in Africa, where your immediate community is broken. Beloved, this is the time to take massive actions. We must be the change we want to see. Nobody can come change my family. I've got to be the change in my family. My husband, myself, even our children have their own part of responsibility they have to take. No one is coming to change the black community. It is our responsibility as black leaders. What examples, by the way, are we showing to these young ones? Consistently fighting amongst ourselves. Come on, women, let's talk. In my conference, in our conference in October, the Global Women's Leadership Summit, we had this incredible leader working in the hospital, an incredible leader, female leader. She said, in my entire career, women have been my greatest challenges than men. I've had it so easy. My male leaders have been so willing to help me, to guide me, but the female leaders have been obstacles and barriers. Come on. It's easy to go march and just say things because we just like to have the conversation. We just like to keep talking. We just like to get into a crowd where our voice is also muted and we just show that, oh, I'm also marching. In reality, we are not taking actions. And that's why we are still where we are. Let me ask this simple question. Women are so powerful, and this has been from generations, from generations to generations. We are so powerful. Look at every single child, great man and woman. A great man out there will point you one significant woman in their life. who greatly impacted their lives. Be it their grandmother, their mother, their wife, their sister, there will be one woman. Rarely will see them talking about the male figures. Of course, there are some incredible male figures. There are many of them, of course. You ask every child who is succeeding, even the male, mommy, mother, mother. So women, what am I saying? How did we come into the point if we did not lay down this? We have so much power. We see that within the home. The power, but these are empowered women. If you're not an empowered woman, you cannot empower your family, so you cannot bring change. You cannot be a naive, ignorant woman. You don't want to study. You don't love knowledge. When they share a video that's too long, you say it's too long. I hear people saying that if you yearn for knowledge, I don't watch videos that are 5 seconds. No, I want to learn. I want to draw knowledge. I want to go deep. I want to go deep dive, inside. That's why I read books, because it's powerful. It's in depth. So we don't even have the desire to be empowered. What do we have to offer our children, our male and female children? So we started this by putting the male, our sons, at a higher platform than our daughters. Oh my goodness, I think I have another session now. I need to go. Can you see the time? Oh, perfect. I still have some time. I have a session at 8 o'clock. Many apologies for that. How many of us women, we treat our sons at home in a different way, and we treat our daughters in a completely different way? How many of us, let's take mother-in-laws. Mother-in-laws are known, why not father-in-laws, for destroying other women who are their sons' wives. Come on. Women, let's be honest. How many times when you talk about gossip, it's a woman thing. Backbiting, destroying another female. And every day we're having these conversations, yet the actions are contrary to the conversations we have. I was told by an incredible leader, when they are doing the Queen's Awards, they've always seen when female leaders are nominated, because they need some people within their life, friends, to also give testimony about their work. They've had huge delays when women are nominated for a King's Award, because women don't want to see other women thrive. They want to be the ones at the top. How disgraceful. Let's have this honest conversation, and let's move on, because this conversation is needless anyway. It's needless. But let's sit and reflect. We are the obstacles to our own progress. We created those rules at home. Son, do this. Daughter, do this. You train your child already, or you have to learn how to cook because you become a wife. You don't teach them, be empowered, study, become a multi-millionaire. I hear someone is ridiculous, saying that my child must get married to a very rich man. Why can your daughter not become that billionaire or millionaire? Why must you look up to a man? Why can't we empower our daughters and sons to become multi-billionaires? I tell my children that. So you might save others. You may run a good cause to give back to the world. We've got a publishing company. We are making impact. We are donating books. Not because we have so much, but because we have the power to create and the heart to give and make a difference. The gifts that our children are creating is not always about money. You can have all the money in the world, you're not wealthy. It's the impact, the difference you made in the world. The lives you've transformed, that becomes your world, and of course your health. So women, this is the time to take massive actions. Like I was saying, you want to work on your mental health. From now to the 31st, what actions do you have to take? You cannot blame others. You cannot sit and call out this and say awareness, and from the black community, there is zero medical whatever for the black community. Thank God. People were saying zero access to COVID-19 vaccine. Thank God. I never took the vaccine. I would never take the vaccine. There was no scientific evidence, no proper research was done, and the research that have come out showing the toxicity of those vaccines. So thank God if it didn't even come to my community. But ignorance will make us yearn for things that will destroy us, medications that will kill us, that will sabotage our greatness and keep us dependent as a people, because we just want to be complacent and blame others for not moving forward, blame others for being stagnant where we are. I hear some say, yes, you have to look at the issues. They have mental health, maybe because of background. Come on. I know some of the wealthiest people today, they came from the poorest background. Parents never went to school, illiterates. Parents were also addicts because they had the power to to choose. They made the decision that they know the difference between a good life and a bad life. They know the difference between the life of an addict and the life of someone who is excelling and successful with a sober mind. And they took the actions necessary, going to school, learning, associating with those who will build and empower them, and leaving those negative mindsets that will actually pull them back in the name of community. They made the decisions to go in uncharted territories. I hear a lot of women say, black woman must work harder. Give me a break. If you go to the gym, depending on your results, you work harder to put six-pack than to just be average, than just to lose weight and still be plump. You work harder to get a billion. From 1 million, a millionaire to billionaire, you work harder. It is the principle that governs life. That governs life. Why don't you want to work harder? Why do we just want to settle for average when we can give more and be more? I always say this, humans are the only creations in the world that have less than they are capable of having based on the choices they make. Do less than they are capable of doing based on the choices they make and excuses. And also become less than they were born and destined to become because of the choices and excuses that they make. Choices and excuses will take us nowhere, beloved. It's time for action, massive actions. Be the change you want to see in your life. You want a healthy life? You want a healthy mindset? You can't swear every day and blame everyone for swearing. You can't worry and think negative every single day and blame anyone. You can't keep projecting failure in your future. Keep projecting the worst and blame anyone for your poor mental health. They are principles. If this mind is fed with healthy thoughts, edifying and empowering words, positive words, it grows and flourishes in optimal mind and well-being. It conquers depression. There can be no depression because the force is motivation, purpose, life, to live, to make a difference, to enjoy the great health that they are flourishing in. There can be no depression. You cannot, on the contrary, keep saying the negative, speaking ill to yourself, swearing, looking at the negative, asking for nothing and expecting something. You cannot go out there when it's a season of sowing. They've given you a fertile soil, a fertile ground. Your mind is that fertile ground to sow whatever you want to reap in this world. As you think, so you become. What you sow in your mind, you become. Yet you take no action when others are sowing. You make excuses. They ran faster than me to get the seed. I wasn't even aware that the seeds were there. Ask, seek, and knock. So asking is not enough. When you ask, it's not giving. Go and seek. Take action. Go and keep seeking. It didn't say seek and stop. Ask, seek and knock. When you seek, you don't find, go and start knocking into the closed doors. Your opportunity might be trapped within someone in that closed doors. But if you put yourself and say, oh, I'm black, I'm not qualified, they won't listen to me, then you cut off yourself from accessing those closed doors where the true opportunities and connections are. And you wonder why you don't achieve that greatness. You must sow in the season of sowing in order to expect harvest when it's time for harvesting. You cannot sow mango seed and expect to harvest oranges. Absolutely no. What are you sowing? What work do you do? When you wake up every single day, do you just scroll on Facebook? I don't have time. I used to have people say, oh, they don't comment on my picture. Bless you. I don't put my things, if you know me, for you to comment. I put them to impact lives. I've said it again and again. And someone was telling me, I love Dr. Sylvia. So many people have said that. Whether they comment or not, she keeps going. Because you don't get the point. I'm not asking for you to comment me. I'm not asking to have some degrees or accolades. I don't need human to give me. I know who I am. My results are undeniable. I am called to serve by God. I answer the call and He's using me big time. My results are undeniable. I don't need an award to prove my leadership. I don't need 50 million comments. I don't even need 50 million followers. When I have a goal and objective, I will dive in there and get the necessary people I want to reach out to. And again, it's not the numbers, but I've impacted millions, I've done massive programs. There were times when I did every single day. During the lockdown, I went straight. We did 125 days. People were blessed, people were inspired and impacted. We did 60 days straight on Clubhouse. Millions were impacted from all over the globe. Some were sending me, testimonies from everywhere. I've had a meeting today with some incredible leaders in Liverpool. We're working on a project to work with schools and help some of those disadvantaged children. I was just saying that if I have to follow testimonies, we'll need to impress someone to collect the testimonies. That's not the goal. I don't do good. I don't impact lives for people to come back and give me the glory. All glory goes to my Father. I do it because I'm serving and I live fulfilled. If I serve you, you think I'm impacting and transforming your lives? Honestly, blessed is he who gives. It's more. The giver is more blessed than the receiver. I'm incredibly blessed when I share my gifts with the world. So people are like, you don't comment. I do not have the time. I cannot create the time to do things that will not progress me. Making a comment does not progress me. I've already served. It's already impacted someone. If someone truly needs to reach me because they need me, they will call me. My information is all out there. If I see sometimes because I check, I will do it. There are more important things for me to impact and transform lives. And when I drop this video, I am gone to the next project. If I have to come back and look at this, then I cannot do the next video. As I finish this video now, I'm joining in. We have a Women of Faith group from 8 to 9. I cannot come and watch the comment. I am gone. After that, I'm talking at an event tomorrow. I'm working on some projects with my daughter. I am gone. I have endless projects lined up. I have endless books lined up. When do I have the time? And it's about priorities. My priorities are ones that are life-changing, that will make our world a better place, that will give me the opportunity to empower more disadvantaged children, young girls, boys, leaders, to step out boldly, courageously, taking their actions, making no excuses, and bringing the change they want to see. Learning to give freely sometimes, not so tied onto the financial rewards. I say this joking sometimes, the good I've been able to do, I'm blessed to do. I don't think if I go to any country in Africa, the amount of Africans I've worked with. If I go to Congo, my wonderful Sarah, the impact we've had in our organization, in our lives, honestly, I will go with zero amount of money. I will live a great life in Congo. Because she will make every organization. I will lack nothing. They'll take care of me. Thank God. There are so many people out there. If I just tell them I'm coming, I have zero amount of money. I heard about this story. I think it was Ronaldo. It's a long time. I read about it then. I gave it in my workshops. It's been a while now, so please pardon me if I mix the name up. The whole thing I want you to get here is the principle, is the concept. One of our greatest footballers, maybe it's Ronaldo, I can't remember now. He had an opportunity. They had gone to his team when he was playing back before he left for Europe, and they had to make a choice. They've been watching them, and the day had come when the scouts had to make the final choice. They had to choose one player. Ronaldo and another player were exceptional. This player deep down knew that Ronaldo was super exceptional, more exceptional than him. Ronaldo had the desire, he dreamed to become, a footballer and all that. And they had to take, I think maybe the one who scored the highest goal and all that. And it was almost to the end of the match, a few minutes to the end of the match. This other incredible player had an incredible opportunity to score. He didn't score. He went past and left the opportunity for Ronaldo to score. And he came and scored. I'm not sure now it's Ronaldo, but I think that's the story. But again, get the story right. You might check it, you might research it. But it's the message that I want to pass here. And Ronaldo came when they were changing. Why did you do this? Of course, it took him and he left. And of course, everything else is history. You can see how his career went from strength to strength. He became who he is today. Ronaldo never forgot about this boy. He remembered him. He gave up his career in order that Ronaldo should have an incredible, bright career. So while he was succeeding, he actually took care of this man, built him an incredible house, made sure he was fine. And after that, I think his career was stagnant. He really did nothing. He didn't progress. And I think the interviewers, because I think every aftermatch they said Ronaldo will mention his name, and we're thinking, who is this man? What is it? And he told the story. So they went back to say, this gentleman, you have such a lavish house. You're doing this. How come? But you're not doing anything significant. It's the little impact he had on Ronaldo's career. What he was able to give up. What are you willing to give up to make other people's life better? Like I said, I'm not here to please anybody, but I make huge sacrifices because they are necessary for me to fulfill my purpose. I make huge sacrifices. I sell books. I give my books. One of my first book, I've given more copies for free than I've ever sold. A Father's Tender and Compassionate Love, and I'll continue to give them for free because I bought huge amount. You know, your first book you buy so many of those books. How many years ago? I have huge amount, maybe 3,000 copies of those books. If I don't give them out, what use are they doing them? I'm talking more of my other books now as well. So what difference are you willing to make in the life of others? What are you willing to sow in the life of others to make change? Come on, this is the time for action. Stop sitting back. Stop looking at people commenting, going there wasting your time on social media from one TikTok to the other and all of that, one Instagram post to the other, and just talking about seeing people's life, maybe becoming jealous, wondering why they are doing well. Of course, because they spend time creating. You wonder why maybe some children are constantly creating. My children are constantly writing books. In fact, they've got how many books stuck there now ready to be published. But we just have to go slowly because, of course, cost is included and all of that. And we are giving a lot of the books as well for free because it's also part of their mission to empower other young people to unlock their greatness as well. And they really inspire young people because young people can see themselves in my children. So women, what actions are you going to take? Are you transforming your children to be able to transform this generation, or you're absent in your home and you're blaming the schools? The schools could never have taught my children to be authors. It's not down to the schools, it's down to us as women, as parents. And we know that we are capable of doing greater things. So women, on this International Women's Day, Accelerate Action, I call on you to join me and other women around the globe. Let's take action. Let's take action. A dream without action is just like a beautiful framed picture. It will remain a framed picture forever in your home. Actions make dreams become goals and eventually reality. What actions are you willing to take? Give me someone with all the skills and expertise in the world. Without the will to take actions is of no use. I would rather go for someone without any skills but willing to take action, because it's so easy to gain skills and train people. Go for the will. Where there is a will, there is a way. Are you willing to change your life? Are you willing? Willing is one thing, and ready. When is the time? It's not tomorrow. It's not in 1 year. The time is now. Maybe you're listening to me, you're 30 years, or you've lived 30 years of your life. Have you achieved your life dreams? Have you become the person you envisage? Is your health the health you envisage and desire to live? If not, what actions are you doing? Start eating healthy. Start drinking healthy. Go for healthy drinks rather than taking alcohol and destroying your health every single day. Stop that cigarette so you don't destroy your health every single day. Stop eating junk every single day and spend the time at home to prepare something that's nutritious. Take the time to nurture your mind, speak positive words, build your mind, listen to words that edify and empower you. Take the time to build a beautiful, incredible relationship with yourself rather than jumping from one relationship to the other. Woman, if you don't find that great relationship with yourself and you are stable, knowing who you are and the type of relationship you want, then unfortunately, you keep going through circles, one relationship to the other. You don't go look for completion in a man or whatever. You have to be complete before you step into a relationship. You see a lot of women going through circles, broken, divorced. They date, 1 month is over, 2 months, broken down again. Huge problem. We may be all the leaders we want to be. I know it takes two to tango. But there is just some degree. We must not constantly be in a relationship. And if you are actually, valuable, you know who you are, your worth and value, you attract the right people. Men will value you, uplift you, cherish you, and want to spend their entire life with you. If you're attracting the wrong people, check out. We can't blame people. We can't. We can't keep pointing, they are this, they are that. Who are you? What are you attracting? What are you putting out there? What reflection, image of yourself are you putting out there? Because that's a mirror, that's what people see. And those type of people come to you. Woman, it's time for action. Enough of talking. Enough of just sitting there and having a conversation. Take action. If you're taking massive action, believe me, you can't have excess time in your hand. We have only 24 hours in our hands. In that 24 hours, you need to take care of yourself. You need to exercise. You need to nurture and nourish your mind, your soul, your spirit. You need to wash your body, your head, and everything. You need to be clean. You need to nourish yourself, your soul. You need to actually feed your body. You need to do something. You need to read. You need to work. You need to sleep. You can't have enough time to be everywhere and doing things that are not valuable. You can be busy all day but making no real difference. They're the actions that we take that make real difference, that are needed in these times to bring the change we want to see in our world and bring about the equity we so much talk that has become simply kind of a cliche or just a word, a lip service. But yet no one is willing to take the actions. It starts from you and me. My action has inspired thousands and millions of women who are now taking actions. I'm not waiting for any government. I'm not waiting for any certificate. In fact, I've left my medical field. I'm still using anyway. I'm still using all of my degrees. Very, very relevant in my work. So beloved, you've been listening to the wonderful Dr. Sylvia Forchap-Likambi, a leading empowerment and transformation authority, 9 times international best-selling author, transformational speaker and leader. You want me to speak to your team? You want me to work with your leaders? I'm available. Get in touch. Check my website, www.drsylvialikambi.com, www.drsylvialikambi.com. I want to work with you. I want to help you to soar to greater heights and live the life you are called to live. I want to help you to take massive action in an effortless manner because it's in alignment with your true purpose and calling. And it becomes effortless because you're in alignment with the very laws that govern success in nature. That when you sow a seed, you don't go there every day to nurture that seed. You water it initially, and when the roots go deep, there are resources underneath the ground to take care of that seed. And the tree sprouts naturally to produce its fruits. Get in touch with me. I still have places to coach you, to mentor you this year. One-to-one, group coaching, group mentoring. Get in touch. You can have anyone so authentic, incredibly exceptional like myself. I'm not bragging, it's the truth. When I say my eyes are the only part of this body that sees so well, I'm not bragging, it's the truth. This is who I am. This is who I am. I live and breathe empowerment. I live to empower. I live to transform. I live to impact lives. I live to make people's life better. I live to ensure that every single human I encounter on this planet, by the time I leave them, they are far better than I met them. If they are not ready to change, I leave them the way they were and walk away. But if I encounter you and have a relationship with you, I bet my light rubs off. My optimism rubs off and leaves. I leave a seed behind. My words are life. My words are life. Words are life or death. My words have the power to bring forth the life you desire and dream to have. My words have the power to resurrect the desire within you to start desiring to be great, and hence the actions, so that you can take those actions. You can take those steps towards your greatness. You've been listening to the Transformation Podcast. Do subscribe on my YouTube channel. If you've been blessed by this video, which I'm very confident you must have been blessed. There must have been something in this video. I'm super confident. I know the words I speak. I know they are not my words. They are divinely inspired as well. I know they have the power to transform. Please, would you help me share this video and bless some other person that really needs to hear this so their lives too may be transformed? To reach out to this 10 million lives, I'm counting on your support. I'm counting on your partnership. You're not doing it for me. It's a ripple effect. You are doing it for the next person. When someone listens to the video, it's no longer blessing me. It's blessing them. I've already been blessed by putting out that video. The more people you can impact, the more lives you can change. The more people my video can reach out to who've never heard about me, who've never heard some of these words I speak, the more you can be able to impact them and create that ripple effect. I don't take any glory. I don't. All glory goes to my Father, and I thank you for doing your part in disseminating this message to help it reach out to those